Hello, Division 4. All right, so we're on page 166 of the math today. And basically, we're just going to the next level once again, as everything we do is based on the previous day. And we're building our skills in multiplication right now. And you can see where we're going. We're having your fundamentals of your times tables have now given you the ability to go into this next level with quite of ease, because you're not spending time with the big hurdle of what's 6 times 7 and things like that. So we're assuming that you are pretty confident on those as we move forward. So yesterday we broke down how there's actually two questions here, and that you've got 3 times 7 because 3 is in the ones column, and the 2 is actually worth 20 because it's in the tens column. And so the other question, of course, would be 20 times 7, and of course, it would be 21, and that would be one. Then we learned that 7 times 2 is 14 when you add the 0, and you add the 140. When you add it together, you get the 161. But what we're doing today, and you can see how they use the array, remember the array, where you have 23 groups of 7. So there's 7 going down, and there's 23 of them. Or, of course, the other way of saying it is you have 7 groups of 23. Each of these are those, think of the base 10 blocks, or each of these of the orange rods. So there's 10, 20 plus 3, right? And those are the little cubes. And so that's why it's broken into these tens and these simple units. So like what many of you probably have done in the past or have seen in the sense of using where aren't going to go to this is the why and of what we've learned. Now we're going to condense it into a quicker, more efficient way that you'll probably see most likely and most people use in today's society of how we're doing multiplication. And in the sense that where you've got your 7 times 3, we know it's 21 ones, right? Because that's in the ones column, ones, tens, hundreds, and so you have 21 ones. But you wouldn't put the two, and the 2 is in the tens column, which it should be, but we still have to worry about that 20 from up here, like the 2, which is worth 20, right? And so what you do with that 2, you add it to the tens column. And how we do that, we put the little 2 up there. So in a sense, and some people, this is where a lot of people make mistakes, is we've got the 21, they make a mistake of, you've got your 21, they don't know which one to put on the top, and sometimes they put the 1 on here and the 2 down here. And so when, in a sense, you've got 12, but you know it's 21, but you've made a mistake of putting the wrong number up top. And the best way I can always kind of remember it, if you're to tilt your head or to look at it, it's 21, right? You start from this way going down, 21. So if you had the 1 up there and the 2 down there, it would in a sense be 12, right? You probably might make a mistake here and there, but at the same time, just try to remember that it's, when we read left to right, think of it, the 2 comes before the 1, so it's 21. Okay, and of course, so our 3 times 7 was 21. You put down the 1, you carry the 2, and then you've got the 7 times 2, which was like up here. But now we can actually just do the single digit of 7 times 2, which is 14, but then you add that number. Okay, you add it, which you go 14 plus 2, so it's 15, 16. In a sense, you would get your 14 tens plus 2 tens, which would give you 161. Sorry, don't put that confuses you. Don't worry about that. Just gotta stop from that, okay? Because when you start doing that, it kind of adds that little extra. You don't need to know that at this point. So there's in the sense. So this is going down here and trying this. So what I've done, and because I know my times tables, 4 times 7 gives me 28. So I have in my brain, I've got 28. Now, which number do I put down at the bottom? Which number do I put on the top? And remember, 28. So I want to put the 8 here, and I put the 2 there. Okay, and if I look at it, 28, there it is. Okay. Now, and then now you can ignore that 7. And now it's 4 times 2, which is 8, and then you add the 2. Now, some people actually put a little plus sign there, if that helps you. So it's 4 times 2, which is 8. Adding 2 gives you 10. And if you notice my columns, my 7, 4, 8, out of the 2 is the 0, and this would be in the hundreds column. I'm sorry, I'm covering that up. That's in the tens column, and that's in the hundreds column, if there was, in fact, a digit there. Okay, let's do one more together. Let's try this one over here. It looks like a good one. Okay, so we know that 6 times 8, that's a tough one. 48, right? We know it's 48. So in my brain, I've got 48. thinking about it, thinking about it. Now the 8 is in the ones. Oh, there's another way to think about it. The 8 is in the one column, so it should be in the ones column. Oh, that's why it makes sense. So the 8 goes in the one. Of course, in the tens column is the 4. And then, as I said, if you want to put a little plus sign there to remind you what you do with it, you can do that by all means. Now, 6 times 3, you got, I think it's 18. Yeah, it is 18. So 18, and you're adding your 4. So 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 gives me 228. Okay, and moving on down. Okay, the camel can travel 42 kilometers per day. How far can it travel 1 week? Well, basically you're multiplying, right? And you need to know how many days are in a week. And of course, 7, right? So you do the math of 42 times 7. And then how far can it travel 1 week? And then, of course, you would do the question, the camel can travel about whatever your answer would be in 1 week. Okay, it's kind of funny. We have a camel. There's our hump day from yesterday, or Wednesday. Let's go through this one as well. If the camel drinks 64 liters of water a day, how much will it drink in 5 days? So then you're multiplying 65 times 5. And as a general rule, and some of us, I'm just looking at the work that I'm looking on your fresh grade, be sure to show your work. I know that might be on a separate piece of paper. Post it then. Post that as well. Don't just and please don't erase your work, because that's really important that we see how you're doing it, right? Because, and of course, um, we're assuming you are doing the work, but it's just, if you're trying to say, oh, I did it in my head, well, and you made a mistake, well, we can't see where you made a mistake. So that's where it's important that you show your work, okay? As a general rule, and kind of this what we're doing here, where then I can see where the 48 and the things like that are. Anyway, all right. Until next time.